Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a very big story to talk about coming out of the LCS. Not necessarily, at least I don't think, a super shocking one. You know, if you've been watching my videos or following the stuff that I've been talking about over the past couple of months, we've kind of been expecting this, if not at least preparing for this potential scenario. This is, of course, involving Evil Geniuses, involving their AD carry throughout a majority of the 2022 season, a guy who burst onto the scene in 2021, a really big, strong, up-and-coming prospect, budding superstar, you know, a guy that a lot of people were comparing to Doublelift in a lot of ways in terms of being an up-and-coming North American AD carry, saying, hey, is he going to be the next Doublelift? Is he going to be as good as Doublelift? Is he ever going to pass up Doublelift at some point in his career? You know, who knows? Obviously, we are talking about Danny, and we have this tweet from LCS EV where he says, sources, Evil Geniuses looking at AD carry options with Danny expected to miss the 2023 season. So this tweet is a little bit interestingly worded because it's not like, hey, sources, Danny is expected to miss the 2023 season. It's like sources, e.g. looking at AD carry options, Danny expected to miss a 2023 season. I can't tell if it's like, hey, my sources are saying EG is looking at AD carry options and my sources are saying Danny's expected to miss a 2023 season, or if it's like, hey, my sources are saying that EG is looking at some AD carry options, so Danny must be expected to miss a 2023 season. I don't know exactly what it is there. When we go into the article and stuff a little bit, this is obviously from the Game House. They say, after missing the 2022 LCS semifinals and all of Worlds, it looks like Danny will not be with Evil Geniuses for at least some or all of the 2023 season. According to sources, EG are now in the market for a new AD carry for 2023. And then it just kind of goes over, what we saw throughout this season and kind of Worlds and everything. Now with EG in the market for an AD carry, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Cowrie. He certainly showed plenty of promise in his brief stint with the team. His contract's not up until 2023. And he was already one of the top AD carry prospects in Academy before his call-up, with players like Neon, Upset, and the rumored to be looking Doublelift out there and plenty of talent potentially available in the East. It makes sense that EG are at least looking at their options. And that's kind of what I'm saying too. It's like, even if EG was looking at options, that in a vacuum, hey, EG exploring AD carry options for 2023, that in a vacuum to me wouldn't mean, hey, Danny's not going to play next year, because I think they need to prepare for all scenarios. I think they need to be ready for a world where maybe Danny wouldn't come back. But then again, it's also like, I'm recording this October 31st. By the time you're watching this, it's already freaking November. So, they got to start getting ready for their next season as well. And obviously Danny needs some kind of deadline to make a decision. So, maybe Danny made his decision, maybe not. Again, I'm not exactly entirely sure, and this isn't super clear. Hopefully we'll get more information soon. But if Danny was not going to play in the 2023 season, I would not think that was totally shocking. I can also pull up this real quick. If I Google EG Danny Twitter, we can see here, if I go back to this tab, Real Danny LOL. This was his Twitter. You click on it, and we'll see what comes up. Obviously, Real Danny LOL, this account does not exist. Now, I don't know exactly how Twitter works, if this means he deleted it or privatized it, or I know he didn't go private with it, but is the account just totally deleted? Can he get the account back? I don't know exactly how that works, but for the time being, Real Danny LOL, this account does not exist. I don't think he just changed the name to it or something different from what I see. People are saying, hey, he's off Twitter, he deleted his account, whatever. And this is kind of interesting because, yeah, he was taking a break from competitive and taking a break from social media and a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago, during Worlds, he came back and said, hey, guys, or miss you guys, or something like that. He came back to Twitter with a tweet. So it seemed like, hey, maybe things are getting better. Maybe he's doing okay. Maybe he's sending us some kind of message or vibe or whatever. But then the next step, I expected some progression of him to be hopefully getting better, getting closer to coming back or whatever. But this does seem like kind of a significant step back, if not just more of the same stuff he was struggling with before, when he, then goes ahead and deletes his Twitter account altogether. But EG all of a sudden becomes in a very interesting spot. Obviously, it sucks for the whole LCS because Danny was truly one of the talented players coming up, especially being a resident when there's not a ton of super insane, super cracked residents. And Danny was looking really good in his first full season, getting to play the whole year. And it sucks because he doesn't even get to play the full season at the end of the day. But what does the future have in store for Danny? Who knows? Hopefully he's doing okay, physically, mentally, all that stuff. Hopefully he's going to be okay. If he ever comes back to the competitive scene, hopefully he's able to, regain his form and play out with what should have been a really, really exciting and awesome career. Who knows how this is going to affect everything? I mean, it's possible we never see him again. It's possible we see him again and it's never the same, or it's possible that, hey, this is just a small blip in the radar and 5 years from now, we're just going to totally forget about all this. Who knows? The story is yet to be told in so many ways. But for Evil Geniuses, they are in an interesting position for sure, because we don't know what's going to happen with this team really at all. I'm pretty sure Impact is set to be a free agent. Inspired, he's here, could leave at any time. Who knows? He could go somewhere else in the LCS. He could go back to the LEC, or he could stay with EG. It seems like all those options are on the table. You know, we haven't really heard anyone saying, hey, Inspired is for sure coming back to EG just yet, especially if we don't even know who the roster is going to be. If Danny's not there and Impact's not there, EG is a way different team, and Inspired's way too talented of a player at this point in his career to, you know, be on a team that's not going to be super great. Who knows? EG just like got rid of their whole coaching staff too. We have no idea what's going on with EG right now. I think it's way too early to say that Inspired's for sure coming back or anything like that. But say they do have some kind of a decent team, you know, maybe they re-sign Impact, maybe they go out and get like a top prospect, top lane or whatever, bring Inspired back. Yeah, those AD carry options are going to be interesting, because Cowrie obviously showed some potential at Worlds, and he's been a really good AD carry prospect in LCS Academy. People have been really excited about him. EG was really excited about him. You know, EG probably in a lot of ways would have loved to have him playing in the LCS level and getting some experience if they didn't have Danny. But now, all of a sudden, are you really ready to just hand the keys over to Cowrie? Because if you do bring back a similar strength EG team next year, or a team that's even stronger, you know, you did win an LCS title this year, you did make top 4 at MSI, you did go to Worlds, get out of play-ins 3-0, you know, 3-0 Mad Lions. Like, you did a lot of things this year for EG, and obviously you want to be taking steps up, you want to be improving, you want to be going for the next step in that line, and Cowrie is really great if your team is, you know, up and coming, developing, all that stuff. But is that where EG wants to be? Because obviously with prospects, even guys who have shown potential, there is still a lot of risk involved. Cowrie could be that guy, he could be middle of the road, he could be bad, you know, who knows? It would definitely be taking a risk. And when you have a lot of really good players and veterans and stuff like you know, Inspired and Vulcan and even JoJo-Pune, who's really up and coming right now, do you want to take a risk on a guy like Cowrie, or do you want to try and go get somebody else, you know, somebody like a Neon? I know they said Upset and stuff like that too, but also Doublelift all of a sudden becomes very interesting. And even when you're comparing somebody like Cowrie and Doublelift, even if Cowrie, you know, is Cowrie better in Doublelift right now? Maybe not. Obviously Cowrie probably has a brighter future ahead of him, or at least a potentially brighter future ahead of him, because who knows how long Doublelift would even be around if he does come back. But man, Doublelift, so good for branding, can really make your team pop, can really make your team exciting and interesting, and that is really good. This is a business at the end of the day. You got to make money to keep the lights on, and at the same time, bringing in a guy like Doublelift can definitely attract other players to play along with him too, and a guy like Cowrie definitely doesn't have that pull at this point in his career, and then could EG maybe even sell off Cowrie to get some money from another team or something like that while bringing in some other kind of AD carry? I don't know, but this is definitely a very big, interesting update that, hey, at least according to LCS EV, you know, with all rumors, sources, everything, take everything with a grain of salt. We'll see, you know, what kind of leads and everything Eevee's onto. I still think it is very early in Eevee's reporting career, or rumoring or leaking or whatever career, to, you know, take his word by law yet at this point. But, you know, I still do want to give him a chance and put out the things that he is saying, and just letting you guys know, hey, you know, form your own opinions. Here is what some people are saying. But it does seem like, at least according to Eevee, EG is looking at 80 carry options for 2023. And again, this could mean that Danny is going to miss the whole next season, and we've heard other rumors about him potentially retiring too, so who knows? Crazy times in the LCS, crazy times in EG, but man, I hope the offseason's heating up, because I know we're all ready for that. But pretty much over this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one, but until then, peace.